Welcome back to Cryptopia, where we go over the wet and wild happening in NFT land. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way in. Today, this is video 3 of 3. Don't worry if you have yet to watch any of them. You don't need to watch them in any particular order. But I do suggest checking out the other 2 videos, as they're going to have information on the Godjira project that I won't be mentioning in this video. So also note that the last mint of the project Godjira. Getting all tongue-tied today. You know how many times I had to restart this video? Anyways, by the time you see this, that last and final mint has already taken place. According to them, they will not be having any more mints, and that's sort of the end of that. Obviously, the project and the plans and the company that they are developing right now will still continue to carry on. But, you know, sorry that if you're watching this after that has already ended. But chances are, if you are, you probably didn't know about the project to begin with. So now, don't worry, because I'm sure you can get, the NFTs that are still out there on the secondary market, and try to get your hands on one if you haven't already. I suggest a Genesis, which is not part of this mint, but the Genesis ones are the quote-unquote rulers of the world. So if this is the first of the 3 videos you are watching, Project Godjira is a NFT project that has worked hard to bring its community as much value as possible. Be sure to check out the other videos to find out just how much value we're talking about here. It's a lot, like 3 videos worth, and I still cut out a ton of stuff. But in this video, we'll be going over some of the newest and well-known partnerships currently happening with Project Godjira. The first thing to note is that Project Godjira has a plan that looks beyond the NFT community into normie territories, for lack of a better word. To accomplish this, they've essentially split the Godjira concept into PG, which is Project Godjira, the NFT-centric side, and then Evolve, spelled with a 3 instead of an E. This will be the normie-centric side, or rather a way in which they can accomplish tasks, projects, and ideas without actually having to show that they're Web3 or NFT related in any way whatsoever. So Evolve would provide services linked to Jira and the Jira token, but would do that unknowingly to the people getting the services, right? So essentially, in any sort of, if you're, say you have like an eBay store, for example, and you'd be paying there with your credit card, because these services will allow you to pay with a multitude of different payments: crypto, fiat, credit, whatever, flowers, I don't know, jewels, gold doubloons. Okay, seriously. So you could pay with a multitude of different payments, and all those would just, if they weren't crypto related, would just be converted into Jira anyways. Right. So next there is Everse, spelt with can you guess it? Yeah, it's a 3 instead of an E. This is a game they've built already and is pretty much ready to go whenever. They have plans to use this game with other NFT projects at a fee, of course. But the idea behind the game is that different communities would come together and compete for whitelists, NFTs, and etc. This is to help build the bond and grow partnerships within the NFT space, all while listening to, each other and kind of conversing on, where you guys want to go as a whole. So I like this idea because it brings the entire NFT community together, or at least multiple projects together, which, if you're in the NFT space, that happens a lot. A lot of projects like to work in conjunction with each other, find ways to have each other in games and help back them up in things that they are more proficient at than said other projects. So it's a really good idea. So while listening to a Twitter space, the team mentioned a concept called undertaker services. Now, this is still a work in progress, so I'm just going to kind of blurt out kind of what I figured this is all about. From what I gather, this idea was created to help NFT projects that want to abandon their current NFT projects. Now, this isn't in a malicious way, but in fact is kind of the opposite. So it's where communities that follow the people who are looking to abandon the project because, for whatever reason, one or another, they can't continue, right? But they don't want to just rug the people that they are, that have followed them and supported them, not only to just compensate them on money wise, but also their time and effort that they put in. So this was basically in a way like, how can they still benefit from this? So in other words, project creators, managers have what what have you, they either lost their way or have no idea what and how to move on to the next step / stage of their project. Undertaker would help by providing a project a way out by linking them with, say, another project looking to gain some extra funds and utility by adding in the community of the prior mentioned failed projects. And essentially taking over that project and its community. This is a concept that was just thrown around. I think it was also played with the fact that maybe Jira would take over the projects that were abandoned as well. It's still a work in progress. And as I discovered from the last week's video to this week's video, the Monopoly like LAN game. So they had a Monopoly. They had an idea to create like a Monopoly like game involving their metaverse land. Well, the Jira team mentioned that didn't happen, as I found out later on, which is fine. I think I did mention in the video that, not everything that's mentioned here was either done or even going to be done, simply because there's just so much, and they were obviously going to pick the things that were working for them and they could excel at, as opposed to spreading too thin and trying to accomplish everything. So that didn't happen. So this might not happen either. But like I said in the last video, some ideas are just not going to happen, right? They're not ready or useful to them to commit to, and have to abandon it sometimes, right? So Jira is also working on using the Jira token. This is one of my favorite things, to gain access to IRL professionals spread across 8 projects, give or take, right? That was just the number I guess they threw out there. So the idea is to have professionals in different fields of psychology and mental health, etc., pay them full time and have that payment spread across multiple projects. So there's not like one project, like Jira isn't paying for it all, because these are, IRL mental health professionals get paid a hefty amount of money, right? So, and they're not part-time workers. They are full-time, constantly available for, the community. So it gets they'll be paying for the whole salary. And so you get a whole lot of people from different communities that can benefit when you have multiple projects all working together, right? Another interesting and different take on how to use NFTs than I've seen before. It's not really directly NFTs, but it's using the funds generated by NFTs to sort of support in a different kind of way the people who support you. And, I'm not sure how far along this idea is, but it is one of my favorite ideas, as they, much like a lot of the NFT community, as the NFT space, as I've been, hopping around from space to space, community to community, everyone's very, very aware of mental health. Obviously, that's a kind of a big thing too across, the world right now. But the need for professional help is key, and they're doing what they can to make that happen. So they've also got partnerships with LinkedIn, who's using Unreal Engine 5, and will be working with Godjira to develop their metaverse, right? So they're going to be working in conjunction to really make a crazy looking metaverse. If you guys have ever seen any Unreal Engine 5 footage, it looks dope as shit. It's insane. So looking forward to that. And the list goes on and on. So there's X2Y2, which I'm not sure if I mentioned in a previous video. It's a marketplace. I'm pretty sure I did mention this, but briefly, it's a marketplace that has probably some of the lowest fees of all. They redistribute all the daily fees that they get back into the essential, the staking of the people who buy their coin. And so, if you're interested in that, again, go check out my previous 2 videos. There's a lot of information here. We're just sort of wrapping everything up from the past 2 videos in this video. So pretty sure I mentioned that before, and that's kind of what's been going on right now. That's a lot of the partnerships. There are a ton more, but those are the ones that I thought were, the big ones worth mentioning, and the stuff that I thought was really cool on what was going on. So hope you guys liked, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Come back for more. Let me know what you think about the Godjira project. Are you invested into it? Are you looking to get invested into it? And until next time, guys, I'll see you. Wait, that's not how I end it. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. There we go.